welcome. Today I happen to have my friends, and I've seen these people. We have done life together. We have even studied together at some point, and they are counselors. So I'm going to welcome them as we discuss today and dissect this thing called the dysfunctional family.
Thank you so much. My name is Vincent Dipor Mhanji. As she said, I'm a counselor, and I'm happy to be with you. I'm happy to share. This is life. We are sharing life because this is a life we've lived. Most of us have grown through dysfunctional families.
I know.
although at some point we tend to deny it. The effects of this kind of family walk alongside us.
We still have scars.
And the scars are there, and at some point they even become wounds again. So it is important that we talk about it and see how we can overcome it. Yeah. So I'm glad to be here.
Becky, you're welcome.
Thank you. My name is Rebecca. I'm a counselor. I work in different organizations, but as she had talked about what brings conflicts in homes, there are so many. I can be one of them. Yes. So, but that's the life we live. If we don't meet such things in life, we don't grow. So we grow by those. So many we shall discuss, as she had said. But thank you so much. Those who are watching us, may God bless you so much.
So ladies and gentlemen, get your cup of tea, pick some popcorn, sit down. Let's talk about dysfunctional family. So listen, what is a dysfunctional family?
To my understanding, a dysfunctional family is a type of family where there are lots of conflicts, the misunderstandings. There's a lot of uncouth behavior. Uncouth. I don't want to call it misbehavior, because when you call it misbehavior, it's as if you're just rebaptizing it. But the truth of the matter is, it is that behavior that someone cannot stand, that oppresses the other person. And so these kind of behaviors occur in such a family. It is a family where there is no communication, proper communication. A mother wakes up and goes wherever she wants to go. The father goes wherever the children go.
They meet in the evening.
They meet in the evening. They are throwing words at each other. So such, I don't know, in my language they say a ketine bomori. These families that have no ventilators,
don't have boundaries.
no boundaries.
That's what they want at whatever time they need.
The bedrooms of their parents.
No boundaries.
No boundaries at all. So this is a brief description of such a family. So you can just begin to imagine what happens there and the kind of children that grow and come out of such. No, nothing. They actually beat you until you cry. And even when you cry,
why did you cry?
They ask you why you are crying, and they add. So
when you are sick, no one knows.
I'm telling you. They actually say you're pretending to be sick because they expect you to do some work.
So whether you are sick or you're not sick, it doesn't matter.
It is none of their business as caretakers of children.
That's all. Man for himself.
I'm telling you.
Functional family, to me, I describe it as a package, a whole package that has a lot. If you need, because if I'm giving an example of we love tea. And no one can ever be there without taking something or a drink. If you spiced it well, then that is the taste. If you want it to taste the other way, that you don't expect it, then you will just take it as it is.
So it depends how you spice your
family. Yes,
if you want spice. It to be functional,
Yes.
You put in spices which help it function.
Yes.
Because even when we come to science, when they tell you something is dysfunction, it means it is not working.
Yes.
Yes.
So when basically, let's just summarize that when we talk about a dysfunctional family,
Yes.
we are talking about a family which is destroyed, which is broken down. There is no system, like you said, there are no boundaries, there is no communication, abuse is normal,
Yes.
addictions are normal.
Yes.
As in, it's like a barracks. Everyone enters
course.
and everyone goes out. Everyone does their own things and anyone does their own. Relatives come, they sleep for a week, a month, no communication, no, as in there's no structure at all.
Yeah, actually, there is some point that we cannot leave out when we are describing a dysfunctional family. This is where, of course, we know that if a husband and a wife have begotten children, then they are supposed to take care of the children.
Of course.
There are families, if you find in your family, or you have seen a family where it is children taking care of themselves and even of their parents, you find this child or this young man is in senior one, but during holiday, he's actually working hard. Instead of revising, he's actually out there looking for what to support families with.
Who come from school. Well, guys, you come from school at 5,
Yeah.
you come, get a basket of bananas or tomatoes or pancakes or whatever you're selling at home.
Because the father is in the bar, the mother has gone for Rugambo, there's no food. This kid has come from school, she's hungry, he's hungry. So the best solution he can get is to find something and then maybe go around other homes, calling out people, hey, have this one, who can buy this one? Maybe some of us who stay in towns, these are young kids you see holding, I don't know what, looking into people's cars, can you help buy this one? Sorry. Nani bashaba mungura. I always see those kids and I'm like, okay. Because they are looking for what to buy kaunga for supper.
They don't know when dad will come, they don't know when mommy will come, and even when they come, it is even another war has begun. A lot of families where when dad comes, people hide under the bed, straight. No one wants to appear.
This man is supposed to be the chief provider
of the home.
And he doesn't want to know. He goes, drinks. The woman, the wife, tries to go and work and then buy some posho and some beans. Now the other man from the back comes back home and is actually demanding for food. The woman serves whatever she has toiled for to get and then serves the husband out of love. And then this man actually will even pour this food
on the woman. And war begins.
And war starts from there.
Out of the bed.
And he chases everyone outside the house. Is this the kind of food I am supposed to eat?
As a man of the home.
But remember, he has not brought in anything. So these are the families we are talking about.
So ladies and gentlemen, these are some of the signs. I know that most of you have seen such signs either in your home, in your neighbor's home, or around. So now you're talking about dysfunctional family. This is exactly what you're talking about. So what causes a dysfunctional family?
Yeah,
where does it come from? Because I know that we all get married. Someone said that there's no one who gets married with a plan of breaking their family. There's no one who gets married with a plan of spoiling their family. There's no one who gets married saying, me, I'm getting married to reach there and they destroy things. So along the way, what happens?
Now, there are so many factors at play here. But among those many factors, there are what we call individual factors.
Yes.
Now, under individual factors, factor number one, and which is the greatest cause, is trauma.
Yes.
Unprocessed, unhealed trauma. What do we mean? If in my growing up, I went through lots of abuses, actually I came out of this family, already I have psychological wounds within me.
And they said that damaged people damage others.
Of course, you give out what you have.
Yeah.
So if I grew up with a void, with a longing for love, don't expect me to be a daring husband to you. Because I didn't get this love.
Be wanting.
If I grew up looking at my father beating my mother, and that was normal.
Normal culture at home.
Now, if my father would demand from my mother, wash for me. Why haven't you washed for me this and that and iron this and I don't know, do this. So this is I look at it as normal. So I'm equally going to ask my wife to do the same. Actually using that harsh voice, the tone, because it comes from a wounded heart. If I grew up in a family where a man is supposed to be a man, and as a man I am supposed to talk, and you woman you are supposed to listen and obey. So if I get married to this woman who also wants to talk as I talk, trouble begins from there. And then we begin fighting, and then children come in between, they cry. One kid gets angry at me, they pull the leg of the father, he kicks them. One is pulling the mother. So chaos. So
and
one
that is anger stepping in.
That is anger stepping in, resentment, because these children are now going to take sides between the parents. Already things are beginning to fail.
And even their children are beginning to develop wounds.
Exactly.
And trauma, because now they start resenting, they develop unforgiveness, anger has stepped in, and they're looking at their father as a threat, as an enemy of the family.
So that is one. And this is, I wish people would know that most of us have these wounds.
Yes.
We have, trust me, whether you came from the so-called good families, even if it is the first family, there are issues there that make those who grow in this family develop this psychological wound. We are talking of attachment. We are talking of authenticity. So if I have grown up in a family, yes, they are rich, but my mother wakes up very early in the morning. After the other, are they 60 days of what? When a woman has given birth, maternity leave. She hands me over to this maid and then goes to look for money, because she thinks when she gets money, she's actually preparing me for a better life.
Yes.
But in her absence, I am there crying for love, and she's nowhere. And this maid is also doing her own stuff.
That same maid was not even loved. Also,
exactly.
Of course.
Exactly.
That is why she's a maid.
Now,
and this is the mistake we make.
Yes.
I always tell people that we go and we go and get them work, and we are looking for money to make sure that our children they have a so-called better life. But we forget that the people we have left them with, regardless of how much we pay them, because people reason, as long as I have my two maids and they are not overworked and I pay them properly, but you forget that even that same maid that you're leaving children with, even that maid also needs, she's also a child. She was never parented. That is why she's a maid, because if she was parented properly, she should not be here. If things were well in her family, she should not be here. So at times it is us who cause that dysfunction we're talking about, like you said, individual, because Ogumana, you hand that child to that maid. That maid has never given birth. She's just there because she's looking for money.
Madame More, there is nothing. We have to be very, very true to ourselves. There's no one who can become a substitute when it comes to parenting.
That is true.
Actually, this money you are talking about, you are going to work and give, I don't know, the best education, but there is no bond between you and this. And this is going to cause problems in the future of this young girl, Of course, it begins from home and then it spreads, goes to school.
Or someone's wife.
Now to add on Vincent there, someone was telling me, I love dysfunctional families. Reason being, it's when I get time or chance to add salt in it. And the first person to do that is the maid. Because he knows all the moves of this home. That's one. So since this maid was not loved at once, maybe she even got out home before maybe the exact time, like when we grow, like development stages, there is a stage where you need to go and look for a living. So when she or he knows that this family is dysfunctional, then I have to seduce this man, because this man is not having enough from the wife. Yes.
And that is how
So the only trick, the only remote is to take care of these children well. I also choose on this man.
You win his heart.
Yes,
By the way,
and men, yes, of course.
Someone saying, can't you see even the maid looks after the children more than their own mother?
Yes.
So what if she had a better home? What if she had good environment, she would be a good wife.
Yes.
And these are the things we are seeing right now as we even talk.
Such
things.
Of course.
So the other cause, which people do not want to take serious about, is mental health related issues. If, for example, a young man is battling with depression, is battling with stress, anxiety, this, and of course a time comes. I didn't tell people that I am the director of Living Hope Therapeutic Center, which is a center that helps people who are struggling with different mental health issues.
Trauma.
Of course, trauma, which causes many to go into addiction and all that. Now, when you are talking to these people, especially the caretakers of these people who are struggling, so some even come and because we rehabilitate them, we stay with them for some time, and then this parent is actually begging you, can't you organize a room for us so that at least we bring a girl and this our son spends some time with this girl in the room, ubundi akamutweka tubona umwana, because now this one, they already look at this one as a mess. This is already some big loss. And so the only hope they have is maybe thinking, if this one begets a child, at least she or he is going to be our consolation. Now imagine, this guy struggling with this mental illness gets married. You don't expect to be harmony in that family. There will always be fighting.
And even their product.
There will always be fighting. There is not going to be communication, because if this guy is fighting depression, he's going to be rocking themselves inside their rooms, and the wife will be complaining, why are you not talking to me? And he will jump out of impulses and then slap. And even when they get children in that whole environment, this is going to be trouble after trouble.
And this is what we call transgeneration.
Exactly.
People passing on things generation after generation. You can imagine, you see, that is a very big mistake. You are seeing, like now that example you have given.
Yes.
It is kind of, it is sad, but it is a reality. Someone is already struggling. Now, instead of helping this person to first become better, because the Bible says that a good tree cannot produce bad fruits. Neither a bad tree can produce good fruits. So already the boy is damaged. Instead of us helping the boy and they become better, so that after they have become better, now they have been instructed and they can reason and do things properly. Now you want out of that damage also produce another damage. you're adding salt, and all the mess. You're even, in fact, ice creaming the mess the more.
Yeah.
So people don't want to resolve those issues, and which is very bad, because every time you're dealing with something and you don't resolve it,
Yes.
we were talking about the trauma you talked about, maybe because we said that some of us are product of dysfunctional family. But the
Yes.
fact that the reason why we are here is because we first did what we call self-awareness. We saw our situation to amanya what it is, and we sought for help, and now we are here giving people hope.
Yes.
So, and these days we are in a system where people want to rush over things. Someone jumps from one relationship, their week has passed, they are into another relationship.
Yes.
They come with their baggage, and what they have not known why they failed in the other relationship. They have not known where the mistake was, whether it was them or the other, or it's a combination. And someone's like, there's no time to wait. We do not want to sit down and really work on these issues, the traumas, the unresolved issues, the anger, so that we can have better people tomorrow. And that is why we have a lot of broken people in the society. You know, whether in marriage, and that is why we are finding marriages are finding challenges.
Yes.
Because most people we meet on the road, 90% are broken.
Very
90%
much.
are living
Very
with
much.
pain. All this depression you're talking about, and mental health issues rising up, it is because of this. So it is very important as us to be the champion.
Yeah.
And each one of us can become a champion.
Yes.
We do not have to think that it is only people who have started counseling. No. Because when you see that what we're talking about is happening in your family, then it is your time to look for help.
In relation to mental health issues, we also have another bigger one, which is connected to that, which is substance abuse. Substance abuse. Now, this one
Is a mother.
Mother and father and grandfather
Of course.
of dysfunctional family dynamics. Because you have, if you have a family, I was having a client who started smoking marijuana because of the stress that came from the wife. At first, it was the wife who was actually abusing alcohol. She would drink a lot. And this man was fine. So finally, he's like, no, I think this is too much, because it is pain. Now, what causes substance abuse? That people end up addicted to certain drugs. It is because of the pain they have, which has a deep connection with trauma, by the way.
Very much.
Now, addiction begins in pain and ends in pain, unfortunately.
That's true.
People have pain and they want to go and look for something to soothe the pain. Now, when they sober up and remember how much they have spent on this, I don't know, the broken trust and the image, their personal images.
Money they have spoiled.
Now, another pain comes in, and because I cannot handle that pain, I go back and add on. And so it is day one, day two, it becomes, that's what they call progression of the disease of addiction. Because today you are in pain, you look for something to cure the pain. Now, after getting sober, you regret, and that regret itself is pain.
That's true.
You go back to look for, and it is year in, year out. So now this guy said, I think I cannot stand this. Let me be with my fellow guys. And that's how the fellow guys ended up introducing him to smoking. Now, when he was telling us the first time he did smoke, he actually felt he was in another world.
On top of the
like this world of trouble, of pain, he had actually surpassed it. And so he tested the second time, and then before you know it, he was trying to stop. He couldn't.
Of course. Because he wanted to stay in the other world, which has no pain.
The wife is a drunkard. Now the husband has started abusing these hard drugs.
Yes.
Now imagine what the children are doing at home. They look at the mother come home late. In the evening, there's no one to cook food for them. The father is not there when he comes. He's highly charged, hyper, and abusing them. The wife is also hyper. Now children are going through a lot of psychological pain.
Yes.
Now, of course, these ones, the parents will begin abusing the other ones physically, beating them. When one child says, but you are supposed to be our role models. What are you doing to yourself? You are shaming us. The other one will get this one and hit them on the wall.
And even you look like your father.
So before you know it, these children will also begin going to bars to take in order to soothe the pain. And so that is
the cycle. That is the cycle.
So substance abuse is a very great contributor to these dysfunctional family dynamics. So when you talk about dysfunctional families and you don't talk about substance abuse, honestly.
This same substance abuse leads to other abuses.
Of course.
Children can be raped by
Early marriage.
early marriages.
Yes.
They are running away from trouble.
Then also social embarrassment.
Yes.
Outside at their school, in the environment as they play their children, they keep on saying, we had your mother and father fight last night. Your dad was on the bar fighting with your dad. I saw your dad with another woman. That is infidelity. That now disease.
Others also go. They also have isolations.
Yes.
They go into isolation stage, and that is the worst. Because it's where it will lead you to cases, and there are so many there outside.
Because now the children, because remember the children are still young.
Yes.
Their mind has not yet developed to the point of processing pain in the right way. And because they're also in a bad environment where they see the only thing to soothe pain is to drink, is to fight. So now they also start on that culture. And before long, the children are also into drugs. The children, like you said, early marriages, abortions, AIDS comes in, and also other diseases. A lot of cases. Those are the families where you find like the whole family and the whole generation has been destroyed.